Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Our community is enriched by the diversity, resilience, and contributions of Black residents, past and present. That will not change. Whether through the arts, education, advocacy, or small businesses, Black Oak Parkers have left an incredible mark on our village. We remain steadfast in upholding DEI principles that promote inclusivity, protect freedom of expression, remove barriers, and provide equitable opportunities for all individuals to pursue their dreams, including our transgender youth. But as we honor the past, we must also acknowledge the work that remains. Equity, justice, and opportunity must be more than ideals. They must be realities we actively work toward every day. Let this celebration not only serve as a time to reflect, but also a call to action. Let us commit to building a future that fully honors the labor and sacrifices of those who came before us by ensuring every person in this community has the opportunity to thrive. To the performers, artists, and storytellers here today, thank you for sharing your talents and continuing the legacy of creativity and resilience that is so deeply woven into Black culture. And to everyone who worked tirelessly to bring this event together, thank you for creating a space for us to celebrate, reflect, and grow together as a community. As we move forward, may we carry the lessons of Black history with us, not just in February, but every day. Let us honor the labor of our ancestors by continuing their work, striving for justice, equity, and progress in all that we do. Thank you for being here, for celebrating with us, and for being part of this important journey. Together, let us honor the past, celebrate the present, and build a brighter future. Thank you.
Open my eyes to the knowledge of the way. Oh, A tree without a root, no, can't be wood. Us, we, together we shine. Doing your own thing, ain't none of mine. Running in the streets, made of concrete. No love will you find. Just hearts made of limestone. If we use our heads, we won't die in the land of the dead. If we use our heads, we won't die in the land of the dead. Because running in the streets made of concrete, no love will you find. Just hearts made of limestone. There is a new world coming when we shall be free at last. In the names of our brothers and sisters who have risked their lives and those who have shed their blood so that we might be free, we pledge that their sacrifices shall not go in vain. Albe Kairato. The proper response is Kaira Daron. Albe Kairato. Very good. I have just greeted you in the Mandinka language of West Africa. I have asked you, have you come in peace? And you have responded by saying, peace only. We are breathe and movement. And we are so thankful and grateful for this breath and the air that we breathe. And we believe that moving is very important. So, health is to the body as truth is to the soul. We are here in honor of Black History Month. Who can tell us who is responsible for Black History Month? Carter G. Woodson. Very good. And what year was it established? What year was it established? 1926. Black History Month was established. However, at first, Black History Month was established as Negro History Week in 1926. However, in 1976, it was established as Black History Month. Now, we are going to talk about some of those who shaped the Black labor movement. Names such as A. Philip Randolph, Mary McLeod Bethune, Baynard Rustin, Hattie Canty, and Chris Smalls. But right now, we would like to have a presentation of the drum by Brother Tahimba Mtu.
Thank you for having us. First, I'm Baba Tahimba Mtu. I'm a master drummer, and I'm a master carver. So the drums that I'm playing are the drums that I made. I'm one of 3 master drum carvers in this country. So this is what I do. But in addition to that, I'm also a priest. I'm also a storyteller. I do a lot of things. I've written 6 books, have 4 CDs. Little bit about me. In order to tell a story, our story, where do you start? At the beginning, in the middle, or at the end? For Black people, as much as we kind of ignore it, we did not start off in this place. So you have to go back to where we originated. And this is where I might come in with this conversation. So often they talk about, they took away our drums. So why did they really take away the drums? It was not so much of the communication as much as the spiritual energy that exists and come out of the drums. The ancestors speak to and through the drums. So this is the real reason of that. I have a family of drums that I brought today. This particular drum, I just made it about 2 weeks ago. So this is what I'm still actively doing. So I'm going to start off with a rhythm called rumba, which is the Cuban name for the rhythm. But I'm playing multiple rhythms, which is usually referred to as polyrhythms. And there's a lot of movement inside the rhythm itself. So I hope you enjoy it. The next piece I'm going to play is called Vita. And Vita means war. So this is a war rhythm. It also has a lot of polyrhythms. So hope you enjoy that. center of the energy goes into the earth, shakes the earth, and gives out the energy. This is considered an air drum. It's different kind of sound.
Black History Month began in 1926 and was observed for 1 week as Negro History Week to recognize contributions of African Americans. This Black History Month is special as we recognize those African Americans who shaped and strengthened the Black labor movement. This Black History Month, we celebrate the 100th anniversary of a movement to establish fairness and equality for African Americans in the workplace. Yes, let's The Black labor movement began before the Civil War in 1861. In 1925, the Brotherhood of Sleeping Porters and Maids was established by activist A. Philip Randolph, the first black union to receive a charter in the Federation of Labor and igniting the March on Washington for Better Lives and Civil Rights. The march involved 250,000 participants. We celebrate collectively the advances of economic, racial, and social justice not only for African Americans, but also women, LGBTQ+, as well as others. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 followed the March on Washington. Major African Americans who shaped and strengthened the Black labor movement. A. Philip Randolph, a Pullman Porter, fought for Black economic and social freedom. Randolph observed that Blacks were paid less for their work, and he also fought against discrimination in the defense and military. Randolph's work laid the foundation for the civil rights movement. Mary McLeod Bethune, an educator, civil rights activist, womanist, and humanitarian, advocated for Blacks and women in the world. In 1976, Bethune founded the National Council of Negro Women. In 1974, the first statue of an African American woman was erected in a public park in Washington, D.C., and she was acknowledged as the first Lady Negro of America. Bethune founded the Daytona Normal and Industrial Institute for Negro Girls, also known as Bethune-Cookman University. Bethune also worked with President Roosevelt and convinced him to create the Federal Commission on Fair Employment Practices, which helped create jobs for African Americans. Bethune's vision was to provide young Black women with skills and knowledge to succeed in society. Next, Bayard Rustin, civil rights organizer, and political leader, was a noted figure in the NAACP and a human rights activist, fighting against racism and discrimination, as well as a key figure in the Black labor movement. Rustin helped build a coalition that benefited all mankind. Baynard Rustin, A. Philip Randolph, and Mary McLeod Bethune and Martin Luther King worked side by side, organizing the March on Washington. Rustin stated, "We are all one, and if we don't know it by now, we will find out the hard way." Though deceased, Baynard Rustin was extended the Medal of Honor in 2013 by former President Barack Obama. Yes, we can applaud. At this time, we will present a dance known as Lamba by Rajia Whitney Bay. This dance is from the old Malian Empire and includes countries such as Mali, Guinea Conakry, the Jolly has the responsibility of knowing all the family names, the genealogy, and the history of all the different families in the region. So at this time, we will present to you the dance Jolly Dong, also known as Lamba. San Krubadin Balakula Boita Falela Wante Jalia Contio Boita Nalela San Krubadin Balakula Boita Falela Wante Jalia Contio Boita Nalela The road to peace. Yes, I say that it is time that we come together in peace. Let us come together for future generations. Let us come together for peace. Let us put our hands together. Can we put our hands together? Let us put our minds together. Yes? And let us put our hearts together and do what we must do for future generations. Binong lumamune bulletin yonder cartoon jabo siao delta nanu jumbe nanu mutakum cartoon jang jang lien balafa. Lamba, lamba. Okay, that is the dance of the Jolly. In closing, there were many who were significant in the Black labor movement, such as Hattie Canty, John Lewis, Stokely Carmichael, Walter Reuther, Samuel Gompers, and countless other unsung heroes and sheroes. And we salute you this 100th anniversary of the Black labor movement this Black History Month. Thank you.
Scribes and scrolls, massive droves of blacks in coal, mapped inscriptions of black Egyptians, fragile pictures of African lynchers. I'm from a block where they makes a lot, but never makes a lot. They confuse with blind dreads. I'm God body, arm, leg, arm, head. Bronze feet means bronze legs. Hair wool means bronze head. That means when my pigmentation is God-led. Now you don't get it. I was inside the pencil God uses to write scriptures and create pictures. I'm God's led, and you can't pencil sharpen the sharpest artist, mixed with little Huey Stokely and Sharpton. So pardon, I'm a soldier without a cause. Huey P in a straw chair with a black hat and a black burner. Give me the Quran, I've been Malcolm. Bible, I've been Nat Turner. So I'm praying to God to give me the vision to separate fact from fictitious, taking heroin glimpses of hieroglyphics. Because it's not impossible when you God's pupil to see through God's pupils. But because of this brown eye wrist, blind hatred because of my likeness, and it's like him. I used to be a monster, slave to the underworld like a lichen, devil horn sitting on my head like a Viking, but I was moving backwards. Every plus was a minus, but as soon as I met God, I became a Midas, and I began to walk like a Titan. But they want to peg me as a barbarian, and won't me believe I'm an African, born again American. Wait. See, just because you give me a social security number, that don't mean I'm any less Africa. That just means I'm secure by being social in America. Let's clear it up. I said, just because you give me a social security number, that don't mean I'm any less Africa. That just means I'm secure by being social in America. Let's clear it up. They fit action, instruction, and intelligence, and we ain't fit enough. I'm a Garveyite mixed with a Marley soundbite, and I barely sound nice because I'm barely awoke. But just know, we ain't come from the same tribe, we ain't had the same dialect, we ain't had the same boat, but we damn sure came here on the same boat. And I got the blues.
Sometimes it be feeling like they only rooting for you as long as you stay rooted to old you. As if you leveling up stunts their growth, they be scared the higher you go, the less they'll know you. Scared they'll be speaking in past tense about y'all's relationships. It gets tense when folks gotta watch your drive through tense. Or when everyone starts clapping, crowd participation. And the people closest to you doing the mannequin challenge. The problem is we rooted, locked in place, thriving off routine, getting our rocks off, doing the same thing, but who's really routine? They never care if you elevate, just stay low vibrating, but I be screaming like, newsflash! I said newsflash to those who don't know, I'm evolving. And the comfort zone that I'm used to has gotten a little too uncomfortable. Just like that box box you put me in. I stayed attached to bad habits and toxic relationships, and now you mad because I chose to flip the lid and open my lids. No cap, but in all caps. That's the cap that blew the cap off your lids. Like you rather I stay seed with no watering. Like don't leave, but no watering. But you bleed, and I'm torturing. Like you sensitive when I begin photosynthesis. I'm sick sensing it. Too many dream killers, there really are, y'all. There's so many dream killers, and I'm sick of sensing it. Oh, it gets intricate. Like how they start putting little in front of everything you dreaming big. But baby, I watch my mama provide for kids. Even after losing a husband and a couple of gigs. Got tired of taking L's even when we had to redline it. So I don't need your validation as long as God co-signs it. But baby, I watch my mama provide for kids. Even after losing a husband and a couple of gigs. Got tired of taking L's even when we had to redline it. So I don't need your validation as long as God co-signs it. And I get it. It's frightening. Little Shop of Horrors, scared I'll go Gina and get that big head, but I'm done begging you to see me as more. Seymour. I wanted you to see me notorious. But you only think I'm playing big. Even your ego stays saying, look, honey, look, I shrunk the kid. You want to sprinkle a little voodoo and see if you can turn me into Beetlejuice, preferring me. Shrunken and in place. Knowing that I'm dying to get out of this sunken place you wanted see me in dreams. No. See me in dreams. Knowing that God chose me, not knowing that roses still grow from concrete. So you can say goodbye to old me. That's that piece. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Seymour right up on it.
Give me a quick second, y'all. When I say feeling good, I want y'all to say feeling great, feeling good.
Feeling great.
Feeling good.
Feeling great.
Feeling good. All right, cool. So I am Vay Shakor. That is VAISHAKOR. I'm a national spoken word artist here on the city of Chicago, by the way of Texas, which is me. Y'all gonna hear a little twang on my word every now and then, cool. I am a big feeder off of energy, and I'm so honored to be here today. Black history is very, very important to me, not only as a black woman, but as a mother, as an educator. I take a stand on in my poetry things that I feel like are overlooked or not normally talked about. One of those things being the Jezebel trope. Is anybody familiar with what that is? Okay, so if you don't know, the Jezebel trope is the phenomenon that black women are automatically promiscuous. So when something bad happens to us, it's normally overlooked. And you see this in our history with Sarah Bartman. You see it with Sally Hemings. You see it current day with Keke Palmer, with Meg Thee Stallion. Even the vice president, the former vice president Kamala, she's been called like a Jezebel of sorts. And it's very disheartening. So I got this piece for y'all. And just like that, I was spoken into existence. Crafted in gold and placed on the altar of blame, they called me a succubus, a creature of the night. Here only to feast on your selfish desires of sexual gratification, a Bilquis, dressed in satin and dripped in modern day worship. I be the corner of want and giving. They called me an ocean of lust, a seductress. Called me everything but my name, gave me titles. I never laid my claim to and mistake my smile for divine poison. Takes one look at my figure and then figures there's another way to profit off this black body. What more must she be made for? In the caricature, my promiscuity sitting at the feet of supremacy, caressed by hands that still oppress my grandmother. And her mother too, don't you know? Sally Hemings' hips bed more than children, gave birth to generational battle scars, warriors hailing from wounds made from sacrifice and generals of cause, don't you know? Sarah Bartman raised women soldiers, ready to march at any point, exhibiting no restraint. Black women, been found in the centers of your universe, modeled after solar systems. You revolve around us, but then tell us that stars don't shine brighter when we say so. Never been asked to model after us, but then tell us that stars don't shine brighter when we say so. Never been asked to be labeled after your gods. Be goddesses all on our own, still you aim to strip our resilience from us. Reduce us to mere stories and warnings before bedtime. This godlessness is all your own. Strive and devour the very life that we stand for. Spit back crushed spirits. Say bite tongues and choke spirits while we play shea butter on backs of Shebas. Just to diminish their titles. And we sit with silence biding its time through our voice boxes. See, we front the burden of social outrage, bear witness to hypocrisy, spectate as our Chloe's and Kiki's palm our public dissent. We shuffle disapproval like spades. Batting expectations like that is the pinnacle of success till we become jaded, so prone to degrading ourselves with sapphire-laced sentences and divided words. Jezebel has always been more than a topic. It has always been more than trope. It has been the guidelines to which we have been molded to. So often are black women not seen as anything but property. It is not. I said so often are black women not seen as anything but property. It is forgotten that it's we who own our bodies. And no trope or oppression system will ever change that. And if you think differently, well, be prepared to face the war you will have created with the soldiers you neglect. And that's that thing. Our theme this year is Labors of Love. I come from a family who has made it very known how much, from a young age, how much our people have done for us, how much our ancestors have sacrificed for us. Our saying in my family is we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And I have Black Panthers in my families and everything, and I've learned that now in this generation, it's our time to now take that torch and continue that on, right? And people who are around I'm 24, y'all, about to turn 25. The people around, the people around my age, we got this saying, like, we ain't our ancestors, right? And I know we don't mean no disrespect, but I don't think we understand truly how much they have done for us, how much they sacrificed, how much they poured into us for we to be where we are, right? So when I hear people say that, I look at them, I be like, you ever been the forefront to a tornado and still bring out the sun? Brave winds and storms with the calmest disposition, push cracked earth together and fist fight tsunamis just to keep a lineage dry. You ever build a nation on your blood and your tears? Been black in a country that don't consider your contribution. You ever labor and toil a land you thought to be less than, fight under a flag that would never fight for you. Stand firm.
That's the beginning.
I said, you ever been the forefront to a tornado and still bring out the sun? Brave winds and storms with the calmest disposition, push cracked earth together and fist fight with tsunamis just to keep a lineage dry. You ever build a nation on your blood and your tears? Been black in a country that don't consider your contribution, labor and toil a land that you're thought to be less than, fight under a flag that would never fight for you. Just standing firm in the belief that you were meant for greater, so you make lemonade out of rotten limes and sweeten it with hope, baby. Baby, we be magic. We be magic. You ain't never seen the transformation of love till you seen it touched by black hands, our ancestors. Broke backs and strapped up, they sewed and they braided. They cut lines leading to nowhere. Where there was a need, they invented. Where there was hunger, they created. When one suffered, we all did. Because perseverance be the only option in living. Living is what they died for. A legacy we now comfortably stand on, and here come darkness again. Here the red's ugly head, storm clouds on the horizon, battles daring us to suit up mothers and fathers, grandparents for children passing torches for marathon. We sing hymns of victory. Channel our Claudettes and our charities, calling our gods and our angels. We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, pay homage to the path woven before us. We defy anything dragging us down. Because what don't kill you is only meant to build you. In our community, we defy anything dragging us down. Because what don't kill you is only meant to build you in our community. community has been blessed with the stepping stools. Should we only take the first step? And I know it's easier said than done. What can some do against the many? But we have been blessed to know the power we come from, the strength of our words, the worth of our actions, blessed to still be here despite being torn down and still expected to be grateful, despite revolutionizing what was meant to keep us compliant. Open your eyes and your hearts. Let's build unity. Ground ourselves. I assure you, we ain't been resilient this long just to let them take us out now. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
Give it up, boys. I tell them, it's crazy. Where I'm from, I didn't see teams swinging an arm like a musketeer. Now the powers that be pulling the strings, they don't give a dang about a puppeteers. I used to be a bulldog in the streets. I done seen some things that'll bring a pup to tears. 29th of February, I done spent so much life I can leap years. Killers on my block, didn't care about your life or theirs. Real life Thanos, as soon as he snapped, half the hood disappears. And I gotta weigh the options, cause any given day I can be on the other end of an op scenes. Every time it's an op scene, it's obscene. And my scene, if I seen, cause they want to drop on 9, Visine. They carry arms to give shots, vaccines, and leave wives living single, Maxine. So trust and understand Afghanistan, cause terrorists been took over the block. Their hands of time won't even hold my clock. Gave it to an hourglass. I guess that's why I flip every hour's pass. My mind spent off more than a power cast. Y'all know because power got a lot of spin-offs, right? Out there, right? My mind spent off more than a power cast. Walk a day in my shoes. Life can get colorful money, monopoly cash. That's why I hit these stages and try to raise wisdom. Socrates' dad, forcing y'all to dissect what's in the biology class. And sometimes I still don't make the best decisions. It's some things I'm still working to face. Esthetician, too many emotional black scar walls, and I'm on the set collision. I get my last breath of vision. I know people can afford the clothing brand Off-White, fly on site for off-life, and I'm just here to put a mirror to your Amiri. I'm a young god, a theologian. Blood don't make us close, but my hemoglobin is compared to Zeus and Odin. One time, I even told this BD from O Block, stop carrying the energy of an old goon and start carrying the energy of an old goon. Even asked him, what's the science? How does this add up? Unfortunately, biology and math was a class he got F's in. Then he's broke on the block swinging that F in. He even asked me back, well, what do you believe in? Well, me, I am Yahweh, God. He said, stop lying, you ain't in the streets beasting. I never said that. I said, well, me, I am Yahweh. Ain't that God?
Rewind.
I said, I never said that. I said, well, me, I am Yahweh. Ain't that God? Even with a cold stand tattoos, he's fragile. Posting blocks, dodging cops. He's agile, but fragile. Toting Glocks, robbing ops. He's baffled, but fragile. And me, I never seen warfare as blood spills at the river of Jordan. But I've seen wars bled as blood spills over a pair of Jordans. I never seen the streets of Chile, but I'm from Chicago, where the streets get Chile. And no matter how many times we hit these stages and get a rewinder, it won't change the fact that our streets are modern day Rwanda. Rewind that. It won't change the fact that our streets are moderate. Rewind that. It won't change the fact that our streets are a catalyst to decline blacks. We find gaps in crates on freights. How many of y'all know that they be dropping off guns in the hood with the freight trains, right? We find, they let us have that all day. But when we broke into that freight train on TVs, the cops was there in a minute, right? You know what I mean? We find gaps in crates on freights. And lately, my faith been in faith, because even without the H, Fate is still in faith, like even without the H, hell is still in L, and I'm just trying to bring the truth of vision. Even my nephew, like, don't forget, it's a pipeline, school or prison. Like instead of pulling up to the South Side High School, Morgan Park, he just should pull up to the morgue and see. I said, even my nephew, like, don't forget, it's a pipeline, school or prison. How many of y'all know that they make us take tests in the 4th grade to decide how many prisons they gonna build for us, right? Even it's a pipeline, school or prison. Even my nephew, like, don't forget, it's a pipeline, school or prison. Like instead of pulling up to Morgan Park, he just should pull up to the morgue and park. See, they be sharp with the 9 for the GDs, but won't sharpen the number 2 for a GED. We was warriors, militant, panthers, fighters, and lately it seemed like we smoked so many blackened mouths that we become passive, blackened mouths. So what you smoking now?
We live in a time where some folks want to make Black lives and Black history illegal, where Black success is erased and discounted. But has any Black person in this country ever lived in a time when those things weren't true? Our history has been covered, erased, redefined, and redlined. They renamed us diversity and then declared war on DEI, thinking that our success is because of their help rather than succeeding despite their oppression. They think wrongly that our history requires their approval, that its persistence requires their archival, that its existence is at their pleasure. They are now, and always have been, mistaken. We exist in this country despite its attempts to remove us. We persist in this country despite the barriers erected in our path. We succeed in this country despite centuries of institutional and individual violence lined up against us. And our history was told in this country before they allowed us to learn how to write it down. We are America. Our stolen labor built this country. Our engineers surveyed the land for what became the capital. Our courage permeated the fight that protected the Union. And the labor of our civil rights leaders turned peaceful resistance into an unstoppable force. We are America. Our labor invented the stoplight, the microphone, and improved the light bulb. Our labor invented the color PC monitor and the first gigahertz computer chip, the home security system, and the refrigerated truck, making fresh food available year-round across this country, changing the way the world feeds its people. We are America. We are not just anywhere you look, we are everywhere you look, especially in Oak Park. We are your village trustees, your village clerk, we are your village manager, your chief of police, your school board members, your library trustees, your township supervisor, clerk, and trustees. Our labor keeps this village safe, it educates our kids, it feeds our seniors, and it governs a village that continues to outperform its peers. We are America, and we are Oak Park. Like Dr. Percy L. Julian is also Oak Park. A man who, despite fighting racism at home and in his career, managed to change the face of science and create techniques and processes still in use today. Through over 130 patents, He created the foundation of women's birth control, which created the foundation of women's reproductive rights and freedom. The same freedom under attack in this very country today. His treatment for rheumatoid arthritis is still one of the first-line treatments prescribed today. His invention, called Aerofoam, saved World War II soldiers from gas and fires on ships and aircraft carriers, while he was here dodging fire bombs at home and standing guard on his porch with a shotgun to protect his family as they slept. We are also that Oak Park, or at least we were. We in this room, and especially those beyond, are what stand between that Oak Park and this one. Our voices are what stand between that Oak Park and this one. Our presence is what enables this Oak Park instead of that one. Our participation is what will turn this Oak Park into a better one. And Oak Park is, for many, what stands between oppression and inclusion, welcoming and exclusion, and we must all do our part to make sure it stays that way. Not just me or the leaders sitting in this room. It's the job of every single person in this community to preserve the flame of freedom and ring the bell of progress. Community is a team sport. No one will win unless we all put in the work together. So I challenge each one of you today to light your flame or ring your bell. Let the combined brightness of this village shine a light of hope for all who need it. And let the sound of our progress inspire all those who hear. Because we're not just America. We are Oak Park. Thank you.
Is it all right if we just have a little Sunday morning on a Saturday afternoon? I mean, that's all we know how to do. We're all church kids. We raised in church. We're going to teach y'all some stuff. We got some original material. We hope that y'all like it. We do have a table with material. Please support. But let's go ahead and do our new single. We got to clap our hands with it. All right. Y'all like that? And when you gotta go on all your digital outlets and take us to #1, all right? That's our newest single. So now let's have a little church. Just a little bit. Y'all should be able to sing along with these. Anybody here know that there's truly no way you can live without God? So for 30 songs, y'all should be able to sing along with us, all right? And chorus the entire room to worship. Come on. Yeah. Is there anybody testimony in the room? Come on. Yep.
of the enduring legacy of Black composers in classical music, honoring their artistry, innovation, and cultural impact. So we just want to play a few selections for you of some composers maybe you haven't heard before, maybe you have, but enjoy some of the rich sounds of their music. The first one is a piece by a composer named Joseph Bologna, Chevalier de Saint-Georges. He was one of the most famous French, of African descent, French composers, and very often he's erroneously called the Black Mozart, erroneously. He was a contemporary of Mozart, a friend of Mozart, and he influenced Mozart. But for whatever various reasons, they always said that it was the other way around. And so maybe Mozart should be the Black Chevalier de Saint-Georges. But again, a brilliant composer, a great man. He was a hero during the French Revolution. But let's listen to one of these pieces. This is the first movement of Symphony No. 2 by Joseph Bologna, Chevalier de Saint-Georges. Composition is by an African-American composer, a local composer from Oak Park, me. Thank you. The piece is entitled Spiritual, and it's from an 8-movement dance suite that I wrote celebrating the lives of some of our greatest Black freedom fighters. In this particular piece, the second movement is titled Spiritual and was dedicated to Frederick Douglass. The piece draws inspiration from traditional spirituals, conveying the depth of sorrow, hope, and liberation woven into these sacred songs. The name of the suite is Freedom Suite, and the name of the piece is Spiritual.
wanted to come up here, very moved by our program this afternoon. Want to share a few comments before we brought up Trustee Inya to close you guys out. And really just want to express my appreciation. This is the third annual event, Black History event that we've done here in Oak Park. Yes, thank you, President Skaman. Let's clap for that. Yeah, it's really important. So with that said, I just want to thank Village President Skaman and the board members for supporting the creation of this event. I want to thank our staff, Cassandra, Joe, Andrea, and our volunteers and vendors for making the event happen. I want to thank all of our guest performers and speakers for making the moment special and inspiring. I just want to say this to you guys, we can't really take these moments for granted. We need to look at these as opportunities to continue building and building in this spirit and making it bigger and bigger. This is an expression of community and for a particular purpose, celebrating Black history, and we simply cannot take it for granted. So, a couple more words. As Oak Park's first Black village manager, I just want to tell you all that I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to represent Oak Park as its first Black village manager. This is sincerely a labor of love for me. Oak Park has given me an opportunity to combine my service, experiences, and expertise with what I believe to be right. Right for Oak Park, right for our country. So I've had an opportunity by serving Oak Park to provide my professional commitment to the community, but also I've had the opportunity that a lot of people in my role don't have, to really have that alignment with my values. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that, and I want to thank our trustees again, President Vicki Skaman, Lucia Robinson, Trustee Lucia Robinson, Trustee Corey Wesley, Trustee Chibuike Inya, and Trustee Straw, who are here with us today. I want to thank you for this amazing opportunity to serve Oak Park. And I look forward to continuing to work together to make history in Oak Park and in our country. I want to acknowledge my friend Mark Blessoff. He's here every single time. So I'm gonna close just by giving you a little fact. Less than 3% of city managers in America are Black. And I'm super grateful to be among them, particularly in Oak Park, as I just mentioned. I want to say thank you to my grandmother, who was one of those domestic workers. I want to thank her for all of her labor of love. I want to thank my grandfather, who was a carpenter and rode across this country on freight trains looking for work. I just want to say thank you again to you all, and I look forward to serving you moving forward into the future and making this event bigger, and happy Black History Month. Trustee Inya.
I'm honored and blessed to be here with you all today. I cannot tell you how amazing it is to have an opportunity to speak when it comes to Black History Month. I remember being able to perform a Martin Luther King speech when I was in the 7th grade. Got to win a contest, and it allowed me to speak in front of people the first time. Normally it was singing. I actually first sang up here when I was a kid with my barbershop quartet. But I never got a chance to really speak until that day. And then I knew where my voice was, right? I really knew how to talk and be in a room of like-minded folks and tell them how I felt about somebody who was super important to me at the time. And still is to this day. If you ever see my social media during Black History Month, I always make sure that I put up the leaders that made it possible for me to be here. But what is more important is the people in this room right now, being able to see, to hear, to listen to the amazing spoken word that we heard, like from Geronimo and the crew, I was like, oh man, after this, I need you to give me everybody's name. You spoke so fast, I mistyped in some of them, so I want to make sure I follow. That was another place where I was able to find my voice, was at the high school, doing spoken word with Peter Kahn, right? Got an opportunity to actually find where my voice was and to make it even sharper and stronger. We had an awesome opportunity to see all of these vendors that do their crafts. These crafts are what have sustained Black people throughout history. Being able to sell their wares, being able to make money for themselves and for their family in any way possible. And if you know and you come from a Black family like I did, my parents worked multiple jobs at one time. It was never an easy thing. As I was just explaining to my friend in the back from the township and telling him, but you know, just to be able to be in Oak Park, my parents had to continue to work. They struggled. It was never an easy time. My mom went back to school, went and got her master's from Rosary, which is now Dominican College. My dad went back to school so he could get his master's and worked for the state for over 30 years, and before that worked for Chicago Reed Mental Hospital. So I never took anything for granted. Our history is built off of people who never took any of their opportunities for granted. I wrote about Sojourner Truth on my page to talk about a woman who ran with her infant out of slavery to take them to a better life, and then turned back and said, you know what, I have to make this better for the next set of people. When I think about that stuff, it gets me so teared up because she lived her truth. She made sure that she made it possible for other people. We always say, you know, Malcolm and Martin, they walked so that we could run. You know, we hear about these people whose shoulders we stand on, the abolitionists like Frederick Douglass, people who never took no for an answer, and even in the face of insurmountable odds, continue to push forward. I got an opportunity to hear, and I will never compare a speech to what Corey just said to you all, because I can't even, you know, put something that great together when he told you about the struggles of Percy Julian, who in the face of all adversity still came back, went to work every day, even though he got pulled over almost every day by Oak Park police officers. You know, continued to struggle and push forward and make it an opportunity because he knew what it would mean for the next generation. People ask me, why did you run? I ran because I wanted my kids to have an opportunity. I wanted them to see that it was possible. These things are possible. When you saw Obama win for president, it made it even more of a reality for ourselves, because I could see myself there. I could see my kids there. And that is what it's all about. When you see Chris Thomas over there, a veteran who has come back to give his all to this community, and I see him every day at the library doing mentoring with young people and trying to lift them up and to help them find their voices. That is what it's all about. It's making sure that we make it possible for the next generation. When we see what's going on in our country, I used to bring my kids to everything. I still do, but now that they're in sports and things, they're not always with me all the time, but I bring them so that they understand that there is still stuff that we have to fight for. Nothing is given in this world. You have to earn it, you have to take it. You have to be willing to fight for the things that you love. And I learn that all the time through these type of events. Like I said, it is a beautiful thing to hear the orchestra that came up. They're playing Soon I Will Be Done with the Troubles of This World. I remember that as a kid, singing that song, and it always brought me this feeling inside of knowing that we have so many struggles, but we have so much spirit and so much fight in us that no one can take that away. No matter what happens, no matter who is in office, you still have a voice. You're still a powerful person. 1929, they called the Iloko Trio. This is my great-grandmother and her two best friends. They're in Nigeria. What ends up happening is a warden chief, that's a person who is appointed within your tribe to collect taxes from you for the British. So they came to collect taxes while the men were fighting at war. And these three women were doing their work, and they call it palm wine. They're squeezing with their hands this material, and squeezing all this stuff out of it. And this guy, the warden chief, shows up and says, you know, have you done all of your counts? Because they're going to tax them based on all the goats, everything that they have there. And she said, have you taxed your mother? You know? And he looked at her and he was furious. So he slapped my grandma's best friend, my great-grandmother's best friend. And they all three looked at him and they slapped him back. And he went running. And so he ran door to door to every compound in Iloko, the village that we're from, trying to get help so that they could get these ladies off of him. And so he ended up running to our village's capital. But what my great-grandmother and her best friends ended up doing was they got all of their friends together and all of their other friends together. By the time it was said and done, they had 10,000 women together. These 10,000 women said, you will not do this. And they stood in the face of adversity, and that man was so scared that he would not come out of their village hall house. He said, not until, you know, some of these men show up and protect me. And it became at that point the largest women's revolution on the continent. Because to know that you have values and to know that you're being devalued by somebody, it stirs you up. And when I heard the story, I said, man, how did they even think to gather together? But that's what we've done throughout history. When times get hard, you don't do it by yourself, you do it with a community. We always talk about this place of Oak Park being a community, and that's what I've always valued, is that we all band together. Even when we see what's going on in the world and we could shut ourselves in and say, you know what, that's not my problem. That's never what Oak Park does. We always band together and say, you know what, we got to do the right thing here. And I've been so blessed to be around great people that have showed me what the right thing was when I could have done the wrong things. And so many times in my life, I've been given some of the best mentors, the best teachers. I remember every one of my grade school teachers' names. I remember all my high school teachers. And people say, you remember the people that are important, and they were all so important to me. When I knew my son was going to be born, me and my wife were like, where are we going to move to? Where are we going to live? We looked at many places, and we ended up looking at Oak Park, and she came here and said, oh, this is home. I said, yeah, it is, because we all band together, no matter what we look like. But yes, we have a strong black community. We might not be the majority here in Oak Park, but talk to any black person here in Oak Park. They have a story for you. They will tell you where they come from. They will tell you how hard they work to be here. And that alone is enough energy for me to keep pushing forward every day. I'm just so thankful that we have a community. Thank you so much to the Gospel Choir. You guys did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. You know, you brought in something while I was talking in the back. I had to stop for a second and look up because I felt just all the energy and all the love that you had. So I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you all. You know, we have educators here in the house, and we have so many people who make Oak Park what it is. Darian over there, who just does a fantastic job of showing you what it looks like when you're a kid who grew up in here and have become an adult and become someone successful that everyone can be proud of, to look up to, and to thank for all of your gifts that you give back to us. It's amazing. I'm so blown away. I didn't know he had worked at Buzz, so I have such appreciation for these companies that continue to employ us when we're young, and look at what he has turned into because of the opportunities of that small business. So look, and right here, I'm looking right here to Camille Wilson White, who is, if you don't know Camille, you better ask somebody. Camille makes this place so beautiful, and you don't even know it until you're like, wait, where did this mural come from? Where did this come from? It's probably Camille. Camille has given people opportunities, from her off-the-wall programs to continuing to find grant dollars, not just here for Oak Park, but the whole area. You know, she finds the funding and makes sure that our young artists, not just young, but our old artists, are having opportunities to be everywhere. So I'm just so thankful to know her. When I asked, I wanted if she could help me out with the project we were doing at the library, she suggested Tia too. And Tia is a fantastic artist, a fantastic artist. If you get a chance, go to Village Hall. You will see her work all over the building. It's something that I had to stop and take pictures while I was walking through, just so I could show people, if you don't know about Tia, you need to know about her. And she was gracious enough to bring her artwork to the library. We have her artwork in the library, and people have been asking me since that day about the washroom. They said, what about that one right there? And I said, man, there's a story. I don't want to mess it up, so I'll let her tell you about these stories. You know, so we are just blessed with so much richness in this community that can't be taken away. It'll never go away. I'll tell you one last thing. Let me go, almost last thing. I remember when, you know, our former village manager had stepped down and we had to look for a new village manager. And I was worried that the people we had on the list weren't enough. It wouldn't fit the bill the way that I thought needed to be filled. And then our consultant said, well, there's one more guy. There's one more person. We didn't put him on the original list because we didn't know if he would be available for you all. But, you know, maybe if you ask him nice enough, he might come. And when I saw his name, I immediately, I'm a researcher. In 10 seconds, I was on the internet searching everything I could for Kevin Jackson. And when I saw all of his history and everything he had done, I said, oh my gosh. I started texting all the other trustees. I don't know if I broke old man, but it wasn't on a group text. But I reached out to every one of them and I said, this is the guy. This is the guy. I promise you, he is who we need. And I have not ever felt more confident about somebody when we knew about Village Manager Jackson, what he stood for, what he means to his family, what his family means to him. It's a true testament of something that I hope to see in my family when I get to be his age. He's not that much older. But that's another reason why. And it was amazing to know that he was going to be our first black village manager. And people go, oh, is that a DEI thing? No, this is not. This guy is more qualified than anyone we had on those papers, and he was ready to do the job on day one. And he was so powerful in speaking about what diversity meant to him and why he wanted Oak Park to be his home, that I knew that was it. This is the person. And look, we now have our third time. We could have done this a long time ago, but he's in here, and this is the reason why. You know, we have our first ever DEI officer. We didn't have that. That's why. You know, you have people willing to push this to the limit, to take this where it needs to go so that our kids can live in this Oak Park and feel special when they walk through the streets. Walk with their head up high. I see you every day walking to school with your head so high. And I go, I know why he's walking with his head high. It's because of his dad. It's because of his mom. Because of the things that they have taught and instilled in him and this community, which gives back and breathes into them. So I'm just blessed to be here and have an opportunity. Thank you all for everything you mean to us. You all mean something to all of us because this community wouldn't be what it is without you all. So thank you. Happy Black History Month.